All right, so first things first is we want to make sure we're on a good updated driver, and we're gonna go through that. Just type in NVIDIA drivers, then we're gonna download and make sure you have the most updated one. I was a little bit behind on this one, so good deal. We'll jump right into it and download this. There's a few steps that you want to make sure you hit. That way you do a clean install. You want to make sure, well, this is personal preference. If you use GeForce Experience, and then you can keep downloading it. But if you don't use GeForce Experience, just download the driver. That way you don't have a bloat on top of your driver itself, and do a custom install. That way you can perform a clean install. That way it removes your previous driver. Now, if you're switching from AMD to NVIDIA or NVIDIA to AMD, DDU, the software DDU is good to have because that way it can erase that particular driver. So go through here, your screen will go black a couple times. But now we're updated driver, and then what things I like to do to try to squeeze out most is making sure the background processes is not very high. So if you have over like 110 process, you can check this by hitting Task Manager. But on the bottom right here is like things that are open up and taking up things. A lot of videos on YouTube talking about optimizing for Warzone, they'll like to pull up NVIDIA control panel and go through the settings. And to be honest, this does nothing. It's a waste of time. NVIDIA is going to have the correct setting for the best performance of their card. It would be silly not to have their, the settings that they want you to have. There's tests out there. If you don't believe me, there's tests out there that have done, what you see on YouTube and then what straight from the driver. It is no difference. So just don't even mess with it. Opening up the BattleNet, and if you play on BattleNet, you want to go to your settings and do exit BattleNet once you play the game. So what does that mean? So when you hit play, BattleNet closes itself out completely. That way it's not another thing running in the background. Now once you load the game, and you're going to have your shaders preloading, you want to stay at the main menu of this. All right, so we're inside the game settings, and then everything's pretty basic, but full screen exclusive. You got to make sure your refresh rate's the highest it's available. I play on 1440p. Now, the NVIDIA Reflex, a lot of people have success on, and it's one of those things that you have to test out in game which one's better for you. So try on, and then try on plus boost. And then for this testing, I have it set for unlimited, but I would recommend setting it 2 frames below your refresh, like your monitor's refresh rate. So this one's a 165 hertz monitor. You would want to set it to 163. So there's that. Let's go over to quality. Now, everything's pretty simple here. Everything's low or off besides this texture filtering is set to high. So if you want to pause the video at any point in time, but it's very simple as far as in-game settings go. If you're trying to get every last bit out of your card. FOV, that it really doesn't matter as far as FPS goes. And this is all personal preference on this slide. That's that. All right, so we're just gonna talk about Warzone itself right here. I clearly don't play this game. I'm not a big fan of battle royales in general, so that has nothing to do with Call of Duty. But I had a few people ask for some settings, and Warzone 3 has been out for a little bit. I haven't done a video on it, just mainly because I haven't touched the game. But these are the settings at like very basic level that anybody can do, anybody can follow. There's nothing hard about what I've shown today. It's just mainly trying to clear up what's in your background of your background running on the computer. Um, and this is a 3080, so we're seeing, I would say, like an average like 215, 220. There's some spots that hits like 240, but it's very, it's very seldom, but mainly, between 215 and 220. And that's completely fine. In all honesty, you're completely fine with 144 hertz in this game. Because there's so many parameters of, as far as like this max performance, it really doesn't matter. Because Activision has set this game to be everybody on the pretty much the same playing field, no matter what. We've all seen people on consoles just destroy the game and be amazing at it. Um, that's like one thing I haven't really touched this game, as far as anything. But if you want to try to squeeze everything out, this is the most basic thing you can do. Um, there's also another thing to look at is the temperature of your graphics card, or temperature of your CPU, making sure that's all good, so that way it doesn't thermal throttle at any point in time. I think anything above, try to keep the card below, I don't know, 72. Uh, that's if you're struggling that way, then we need to figure out why. Is it your ambient temperature inside your room? Is your fan configuration? Coolers and stuff like that? Is it getting the proper ventilation as far as keeping these cards cool? Um, and the 3080 is the MSI. It's got a massive cooler on it, so that's why this stays really cool. Like I don't. Most people, average temper is like 60, and that's completely fine. That's great. So hopefully you got some information from this video. I'm probably going to switch my focus on this channel to building PCs. I've got a ITX build coming up, really fun. So stick around for that. It'll be a budget build on the ITX platform, which is kind of hard to do because in the PC world, things are smaller, they're more expensive. So I'm gonna try to get one under 400 bucks. Stay tuned for that. Peace.